And I just want to acknowledge something. There is a cost to this. I'm not going to lie to our audience. I'm not going to lie to your audience. And I'm also not going to say if you do nothing, you're a coward. I am not saying that. What I am saying, though, is people say, what do I do? Well, that's an action step. But brave and courageous and moral things, Kirk, rarely don't come without a cost.
Charlie Kirk is the founder and the president of Turning Point USA. It's the largest and the fastest growing conservative youth activist organization in the country. And he's joining us now to discuss this. Charlie, great to see you.
Great to see you, Kirk. You're a great American. Honored to call you a friend and glad to be here.
You know, I thank you. I want to just thank you for putting my name on the backdrop behind you the way that you have so prominently. It actually looks like the Charlie and Kirk show. If you take a look.
Yes, that's right.
Should we make
co-hosts?
We could make the announcement right now to everybody.
I have the last name, you have the first name, and that's I haven't met a Kirk yet, but I'm sure someone's out there.
Hey, my son just came back from TPUSA's Student Action Summit in Florida. He was blown away. He was just set on fire. That's an amazing thing. What was your takeaway from SAS?
It was exhausting for all of us that organized it, but it was amazing, Kirk. We had over 4,000 students from all across the country in Tampa, Florida. Some of the most amazing speakers you can imagine: Kayleigh McEnany, Governor Ron DeSantis, Mike Pompeo, Senator Ted Cruz, and more. And the team did an absolutely incredible job in their execution of the event in the first class way that we went about doing everything. It was the largest ever young conservative gathering in American history. And that's exactly why most people don't even know what happened, because the media refused to cover it. They don't like showing that there's people that are gathering around first principles and God-granted rights and the Constitution and free speech and American exceptionalism. And so super pleased that your son had a great time. And we've been hearing lots of stories like that. Praise God.
Well, that's what I love about what you do too, is you're not only motivating people with great speakers and cool events for young people, but you're also educating them about the things that they're often not hearing in their schools, particularly public schools for sure, but even private schools, even faith-based schools are not teaching these kinds of principles, without which we don't have a republic like we do. One of those principles is religious freedoms. When I was in school as a kid, I didn't really learn much about that at all. In fact, I wasn't religious. And so for me, I didn't even really care about the subject. But to our founders, it was absolutely essential. Why is religious freedom the mother of all freedoms?
First and foremost, it's the freedom to worship your own creator, the reason why you exist. And also the founding fathers designed this system of self-government, believing that only with a moral and religious people this was possible. It's John Adams' quote where he said, "The Constitution was written solely for a moral and religious people. It's wholly inadequate for the people of any other." And so limited government is only possible when people are able to regulate their own decisions and conduct, particularly in religious communities, or having at least the church or the worship of God as a centerpiece of your life. So this idea of liberty, the way that the founding fathers understood liberty, is not the traditional libertarian view of liberty that we've come to realize in America. It's the ability to pursue virtue without somebody getting in the way. The necessity of virtue was fundamental to the American founding. 55 out of 56 of the signers of the Declaration of Independence were Christians who regularly attended church. At least a dozen, Kirk, were pastors, and maybe even more.
Right.
And more than that, had religious degrees of people that went to religious institutions. State barriers and boundaries were actually the beginning and the end of certain religious traditions that had certain perspectives on which strain of Protestantism was the best and most effective way to practice Christianity. For example, Pennsylvania was heavily Quaker, right? We all know that example. And so the founding fathers were only able to articulate a doctrine of separation, were able to participate in the separation of the British people and then a creation of a new government because they understood the teachings of the Bible and they understood the moral right to religious freedom. Religious freedom in the United States Constitution is unlike anything else. It's mentioned twice in two different ways. The first is in the Establishment Clause, and the second is in the Free Expression Clause. The Establishment Clause is that Congress shall make no religion. And this was actually not that religion has no place in government, but it was a promise to every single strain of Protestant tradition in the colonial times that it was not going to become an Anglican or Episcopalian.
And it's time for Lefties Losing It. And tonight's edition of Lefties will feature some of the ugliness, some of the utter depravity that has followed the murder of Charlie Kirk, a thoroughly decent, principled man brutally murdered today. And the soulless ghouls of the left were quick to celebrate.
There are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
Charlie Kirk just got shot.
Well, breaking news, folks. Seems somebody just took a shot at one of the Fanta Fastest favorite 5-mile wide mouthpieces, Charles Chuckle Kirk.